Step back in time to June 28, 1928, Chicago. Imagine a recording studio, a company named OK Records, and the anticipation of their next big hit, West End Blues. But this isn't just any recording. It begins with what some call the most important. 12 seconds in the history of jazz, a virtuosic, attention-grabbing trumpet cadenza that forever changed the genre. This is the story of Louis Armstrong, arguably America's first black pop star, and the profound, complicated relationship with his mentor, Joe King Oliver. Before Hello, Dolly, or What a Wonderful World, how did a young Satchmo, a country boy from New Orleans, rise to global fame? Imagine New Orleans around 1915. The air is thick with music, the scent of spices, and the restless energy of a city unlike any other. Our story begins not in a grand concert hall, but on the bustling streets of Storyville, the city's infamous red light district. Here, a young Louis Armstrong, just 14 or 15 years old, is working. He's not yet the global icon we know, but a humble coal delivery boy working for the Konoskis, a Jewish family who have taken him under their wing. His deliveries take him to all sorts of illicit businesses, including Pete Lawless Cafe, a honky-tonk in the heart of Storyville. Though black men like Armstrong are allowed to work and play music in Storyville, it's not a place for them to simply hang out. You needed a reason to be there, and for young Louis, that reason became the captivating sound spilling out onto the street. It's outside Pete Lawless that he encounters Joe King Oliver. Oliver, a cornet player, is already one of New Orleans' top musicians, and his playing utterly mystifies the young Armstrong. Louis would stand there, spellbound, soaking in these sounds to the point where even the working women inside would have to gently nudge him out of his trance. In those moments, he might not have dreamed of becoming the world's greatest trumpet player, but he knew one thing. That's something that I would love to do. Louis had actually been playing the cornet himself since he was young, but not with serious intent. He was no child prodigy, and with a mother, younger sister, and eventually a nephew to support, he needed to make money. But the music, the allure of Oliver, sparked a new idea. Maybe this could be his way out. New Orleans culture, as many know, is synonymous with parades. The Onward Brass Band, with Oliver at its helm, would march through Armstrong's third ward. Neighborhood and young Louis, like a lost puppy, would follow in the second line, trailing his musical idol. He'd beg Oliver to let him hold his cornet during breaks. And to his amazement, the police, who usually ran him away from these parades, would let him march alongside simply because he held Oliver's magic instrument. Soon, Louis was running errands for Oliver and his wife, Stella, who would cook them delicious red beans and rice, a dish Louis loved so much he'd sign his letters with red beans and rice, layers later in life. But more than just food, he was receiving invaluable musical training. Oliver, with his generous spirit, would patiently instruct him. You know you're dividing it wrong, and this is how you play him. There was a deeper connection, too. Oliver, who had no son, and Louis, who barely knew his father, found a special, almost familial bond in each other. Eventually, Oliver decided Louis was ready. He sent the 16-year-old, who had to borrow long pants and probably didn't even own a pair of shoes, inside Pete Lawless Cafe to play. His first night didn't go well. Pete Lawless told him not to come back. But Louis soon landed another gig at a notorious honky-tonk with a gambling backroom. Here, amidst gunfights and bullets whizzing past his head, with pimps, prostitutes, gamblers, and hustlers, and with Joe Oliver sometimes by his side, playing from midnight to 4 a.m., young Louis truly transformed into a musician. These rough and tumbled nights were the crucible where the future king of jazz was forged.